and risking my crown to tell you this, and yet not for a single moment do I regret it. What good is a crown if it silences the voice of my own heart? What worth does a throne hold if it demands I deny the very soul that keeps me alive? For years, I have been trained to obey the weight of duty, to honor the endless traditions, to speak only the words that would please the council and the court. But tonight, for the first time, I am speaking not as a prince, not as a ruler, but as a man who has found the one truth worth defying the world for you. There is a war raging within me, one I have fought in silence for far too long. On one side, there lies the crown, power, influence, the unshakable image of loyalty to my people. On the other, there lies the trembling, undeniable edge of my heart that beats only for you. I have tried to convince myself that I could balance both, that I could be yours in secret while wearing the mask of duty in public, but each day that lie has been crushing me. I cannot endure the weight of silence anymore, not when every glance at you feels like a promise unspoken, and every moment away from you feels like exile for my own soul. Perhaps when history writes of me, they will call me reckless. They will say I was a fool to gamble the stability of a kingdom for something as fragile as love. But let them write it. Let them call me a fool. For what they do not understand is that this love is not fragile, it is unyielding, infinite, stronger than any alliance or treaty ever signed in golden ink. What you and I share is not a passing desire that can be dismissed. It is a fire that has rooted itself in my very veins. To deny it would be to deny the essence of who I am. I imagine sometimes what life would look like if I surrendered to the crown instead of to you. I see myself seated on a throne, cloaked in jewels, surrounded by advisors and subjects who bow and whisper words of praise. And yet, in that vision my eyes are always searching for you in the crowd, and when I fail to find you, the applause becomes nothing but noise. That is the life I am expected to choose, a life where I appear victorious to the world, but am hollow inside, where I am remembered as a king yet forgotten as a man. Tell me, what kind of crown is worth that kind of emptiness? So I stand before you with nothing but my heart bared, unguarded and trembling. I am risking not just my crown, but my legacy, my name, everything generations before me have built, because you are worth more than all of it combined. If the kingdom abandons me for choosing you, let it. If history condemns me, let it. If I lose everything the world holds sacred, then so be it, for in losing it all, I will still have you. And in having you, I will have everything that truly matters. I have lived long enough beneath the crushing weight of expectations to know what it feels like to suffocate while still breathing. Every step I take within those gilded halls feels measured, watched, judged by eyes that demand perfection, but never mercy. I was raised to believe the kingdom comes before all else, that duty outweighs desire, that legacy outweighs the longing of the heart. But each time I look at you, those lessons unravel, piece by piece, until the man they shaped into a prince becomes nothing more than a fragile being yearning only for you. I cannot escape it, nor do I want to. The very air feels different when you are near, it carries warmth, where coldness used to dwell. It tastes like freedom in a life otherwise built on chains. They told me that love for a ruler is dangerous, a weakness that others can exploit, a crack in the armor of sovereignty. But if this is weakness, then I welcome it. Because when I hold on to you, when my eyes meet yours, I feel a strength no crown has ever given me. It is not the kind of strength that commands armies or bends nations, it is the kind that steadies a trembling soul, the kind that makes a man choose honesty over pretense, love over duty, heart over crown. I cannot pretend that this path will not cost me dearly. I know betrayal awaits me from those who value tradition above truth, and I know whispers will rise in every corner of the court, ready to brand me unfit to rule. Yet, in the shadow of all those fears, I find myself clinging to the simple certainty that if I have you beside me, I will endure it all. I imagine the storm that will come when this truth escapes my lips. The advisors will call me reckless. The council will question my judgment. Perhaps even my family will turn their backs, seeing in me not a ruler, but a man who abandoned centuries of power for one forbidden love. And yet, When I weigh their judgment against the thought of losing you, the answer becomes clear. What is a throne if it costs me my heart? What is sovereignty if it demands my soul be silenced? I was not born only to rule. I was born to feel, to love, to find meaning in something greater than the cold glimmer of a crown. And I have found. Even if the world casts me aside, even if I am stripped of every title and name, even if I am left with nothing but your hand in mine as we walk into exile, I will not waver. Because the truth is this: kingdoms crumble, thrones are stolen, crowns are lost, but what I feel for you is eternal. And if eternity itself were to test me, I would still choose you, over and over, until time itself bowed to our love. Every day I wake beneath the weight of titles that do not let me breathe. I realize more and more that they mean nothing without you. The crown that once glittered as a symbol of power now feels like shackles biting into my skin, each jewel heavy with expectation, each demand of my kingdom cutting deeper into a soul that only longs for freedom with you. The world thinks a throne defines a man, but what use is a throne if the man sitting on it is hollow, if his heart beats for nothing, if his soul lies untouched by love? I have spent years perfecting the art of silence, hiding behind royal masks, smiling when I was empty, commanding when I was breaking. And yet, all it took was your presence, your voice, your gaze to tear down every wall I had built. For the first time, I feel alive not because I was born a prince, but because I found you. I know what awaits me if I let this truth echo beyond these chambers. They will see me as weak, unfit, ruled by passion instead of reason. The court will tear apart your name to wound me, dragging you into their ruthless politics. My enemies will sharpen their knives, eager to strike where they think my armor is weakest, my heart, which now belongs entirely to you. But even knowing this, I cannot silence myself. For what is the worth of ruling millions, if I cannot even speak the truth to the one I love? What is the point of preserving a dynasty, if it demands that I kill the very part of me that makes me human? I am willing to be their villain, their fallen prince, their betrayed ruler so long as you remain my salvation. There are nights when I imagine the world collapsing around my palaces burning, banners torn down, voices screaming my name not in reverence, but in rage. And in those visions, do you know what I see? Not fear, not regret, but you. Standing beside me, your hand clasped in mine, your eyes steady as if to remind me that love is worth every battle, every scar, every loss. I could lose kingdoms, wealth, legacies carved by centuries, and I would not flinch, so long as I have you. Because kingdoms are nothing but land and stone, crowns are nothing but metal and jewels. But you, your love, your existence in my world, that is the only treasure worth guarding. If I must burn bridges, I will set fire to them myself. If I must be remembered as the prince who shattered tradition, then let history carve my name with curses. I will accept it. Because one day, when they speak of me, I want it to be known that there was once a man who chose love over power, who risked his throne for the touch of a woman's hand, who gave away a crown but gained eternity in her arms. And when I close my eyes at the end of it all, I want to know that I live not as a puppet to the world, but as a man who loved so fiercely, so completely, that even the weight of a kingdom could not crush it. There are moments when silence feels louder than war drums, when the empty corridors of the palace echo with the weight of every choice I've ever made. In those moments, I find myself wondering if I have already lost myself to a destiny that was never mine to choose. They see me as their perfect heir, their future king, their unshakable strength, but inside, I am a man torn in half. One half belongs to the throne, bound by blood, bound by duty, bound by centuries of legacy pressing like chains on my shoulders. The other half belongs entirely to you, wild, ungoverned, burning with a love so fierce it terrifies me. And when I look at you, I realize the truth that no one dares to speak aloud. Power is an illusion, control is a fragile mask, and love, your love, is the only thing real enough to make this cursed crown worth carrying. I have tried to imagine a future without you, because that is what the world demands of me. They want me to smile at banquets, to stand beside a woman chosen by politics, not by my heart. They want me to speak vows that taste like ash, to sign treaties, sealed in blood that is not mine, to sleep beside someone who will never know the rhythm of my soul. And yet, every time I picture it, I feel my chest closing in, as if the very air is rebelling against such a betrayal. Without you, I would not be a king, you would be a hollow shadow, a puppet who wears the crown while his heart lies buried in silence. With you I may lose everything that the world deems important, but I would finally live. And that, to me, is worth every sacrifice. I know what it means to carry your name on my lips. It is not just love, it is rebellion, it is defiance, it is a declaration of war against sin. They will say I was unfit to rule, that I let desire poison the throne. But they will never understand the truth. They will never know what it feels like to see you standing in front of me, to hear your voice cut through the noise of 1,000 demands, to feel your touch steady me when my world is on the edge of collapse. They will never understand that loving you is not weakness, it is the only strength that has kept me from drowning in the sea of power and betrayal. Sometimes I wonder if love itself was forbidden to men like me because it makes us dangerous. A man who loves is a man who will not bow easily, who will not trade his heart for alliances, who will not be tamed by tradition. Love makes me fearless in a way crowns never could. Because if the entire kingdom turned against me, if my enemies rose from every corner, if my own blood betrayed me, would fight them all if it meant protecting the life we could have together. And if the world tried to take you from me, I would not be their prince, I would not be their ruler, I would become their enemy.